Practice starts heating up, leading to a team meeting, and could Joe Flacco be exactly what the Jets need to start the season? Jets, Jets! Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, time to talk a little bit of training camp. And this one coming because practice started getting a little bit heated, a little bit... maybe a little too chippy is what it seems to be. Offensive tackle Grant Hermans wound up in a scuffle at the bottom of a pile. Second straight chippy practice that the Jets have had. And Robert Saleh and Carl Lawson both came out and say, hey, protect the team. We've already had issues and injuries to Zach Wilson and Mekhi Becton, along with a host of other players, and there's no reason for our guys to be spending extra time on the ground than is absolutely necessary to finish the rep. So remember, take care of your own. There's no reason to get extra chippy with the players on your team. I understand guys are fighting for roster spots, but you don't have to play after the whistle or anything like that. We're going to have the joint practices with the Falcons coming up. Let's get chippy with them in that practice. That's a little bit better than having our own guys getting slung to the ground. So like that these guys came together and said that. Hopefully they're a little more focused. I gotta admit the preseason game seemed a little unfocused, particularly before Zach Wilson wound up getting injured. Like afterwards, totally understand if guys were in a funky headspace, but the first three series that our team had was just not very good. So hopefully the attention to detail gets dialed in. We start focusing on opposing teams and our game plan as opposed to beating up on each other. Next up, I want to talk about a clip that I saw from Garrett Wilson, and I want to talk a little bit about it. So here's the clip.
Difference between catching balls from Flacco as opposed to Zach Wilson?
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. You know, it's a lot of experience right there with Flacco, and you know, I feel like everything with him is he has to take some pace off, can put pace on the balls. You know, he kind of does a good job of making the passes, you know, receiver friendly. That's the best way I can put it into words. You know, they're pretty easy to catch. It takes some off the ball when you're running a slant route versus, you know, out route to put some zip on it because it got to be, you know, things like that. So I'll say that.
So this is an interesting conversation to have because we've heard these types of comments made before of other quarterbacks, and it seems like if you're reading between the lines, if Joe Flacco has a little bit more experience on how to put some speed on the ball, then, you know, it sort of leads you to believe that Zach Wilson maybe does not have the experience and maybe just has one speed, which is 100 zillion miles an hour. The guy throws the ball like a heat-seeking missile. Which is cool, good to have. You need to have that type of arm strength to get the ball outside the numbers or to get the ball down the field, but you don't have to necessarily put 100 miles an hour on the ball for, like, say, screen passes or bubble screens or, you know, maybe a slant pass when there's no real need to do that. And we saw that sort of issue with Sanchez too, where he couldn't really control the speed of the ball, and just having that little bit of touch will help the accuracy and help the drop ball issue too. I think there's probably something to be said for that where, yeah, you're an NFL receiver, you're getting paid millions of dollars to have a ball hit you in the hands and you drop it. That's not a good thing. But it doesn't hurt to have your quarterback help you out just that little bit more too. So is this an issue? Do you think this could possibly play into how receivers feel about one quarterback versus the other? I got to admit, looking at Joe Flacco and having him potentially be the starter for week one, because yes, we've heard Zach Wilson might be ready in 2 to 4 weeks, but I feel like the team's not going to want to rush him back. You got to see what you have in him through the duration of the season. So if he has to miss a game or two, particularly one where Joe Flacco may be a little bit more motivated against his former team in the Baltimore Ravens, and possibly a Deshaun Watson-less Browns in week 2, I think these would be the opportunities to maybe let your quarterback rest and have Zach really watch as Joe Flacco prepares for a game and, you know, possibly, you know, lead our teams to a few W's. This is what I want to see. And I don't know, just something to think about. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Do you think it's worth it to have Zach sit out a little bit? Do you think there's an issue with our team being a little too chippy and maybe getting a little too extracurricular with the hitting? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.